Hello and welcome. It is the 21st day of February 2019. This is your crypto day morning. My name is Derek. All bets, trades of the like. Well, that's within each's own risk and their own reward. So therefore, within this move here is resistance which was established, broken, bull market territory, 18 average in the rising category. Price action still well above it, and we've seen a little bit of stalling within this action, a couple pause days, or at least since this high. We can see a lot of sideways action. Therefore, when we shorten it out, establishing levels of resistance and support should be relatively easy. It's kind of easy for me to determine where key support is most certainly in place. One, where did you come from? Well, right in here. This is also going to coincide with this 18 average of lows as well as it's rising, or even appears below it if the 18 average of lows, say, comes up to 37.60. But I would be thinking around 36 and a half would be the key area, upwards to 37 to 36 and a half. Right now it's in at close to 39. It's at this previous resistance level, and amongst this entire thing, from this downtrend, it has pretty much been this sideways move, although support like this so far. I think I can just hold it here because either support would start to curve up if this is a bull market, or I'm going to meet this line with wherever the retracement happens to go. And right now, maybe here as one way. Just drawing little lines and everything. Overall, though, it's got to get above this little more major level of resistance to start to give it the full conviction. Just because it's in a bull market on the daily chart doesn't mean Bitcoin's ready to go, because daily chart is by no means a long-term level. At best, it's intermediate. Within the short term, where's support and resistance established? Originally, support was established here, and then upgraded over the hit on this timestamp and this one here. So basically 3 hits at 38.44. It hasn't been there since. Support got upgraded to this general area of about 38.72, and that's what has been the case so far, is it has hit that area. Now it's congesting amongst this overall general area, but it's deep within the sideways correction. Therefore, you've got your support resistance established. You break support, you start talking about correcting down to those areas as mentioned on the daily term in the 36 change. There would be 36 and a half, just going to the bottom end of this area here. And then, of course, breaking above this level of resistance. And then that gets you closer to attempting to break out, keyword closer, because 4100 or so is what it really needs to clearly break above. And that's still 200 points towards that level. For Litecoin, we need to really see it hold and stay above this level here. It's already been down in here to this level of prior resistance, and since leaving there, price action has managed to break in here, thus higher high, and not a great one, but most certainly not a small one. Or I like these highs to like the 3 little bears as a kid. Remember that story? You wanted the beds or the food to be just right, not too hard, not too soft, all that stuff. Well, not too high, not too low works out. Whereas coming up to like say 49 is, well, it's too low. Okay, 52, well, starting to get there. So obviously, if this would have went up to like 280, that would have just been too much. Granted, I would have been fine with that. But as far as just understanding and playing around and just going through the chart, because when it goes hog wild, it can just throw flurries as far as trying to figure things out. Granted, again, having a lot of these moves, like I mentioned, just go up crazy. Well, that can happen at any given time. So then, still not need to see it hold amongst this area, but for now, short term, I'd like to see it hold on a higher low. This area where it came from may be deep within here, or this resistance at around 44, 45, the resistance from February 12th through the 17th. I'd like to see that kind of area be within set. That would also coincide with the 18 average of lows. And then markets on the alt side like Komodo crossed against Bitcoin, which has had a lot of these nice up and down volatile moves, is chopping around with where it came from, but you're seeing how you have a big up move, come back down. The instant thing move to go back up. You really don't like to see it go back to where it came from. After this move, you'd want to see it hold, and even though you can only see, you can't see the shorter term, but whatever this low was on the 20th, you'd want to see it much higher. So I'd be saying, yeah, about 24.5, maybe 24.6. It hasn't done it. It still needs to hold around the 20,000 area, 18 average of lows. It's still decently there, and you need to find a higher low from this breakout point on 17 and change. So therefore, coming down to 21 or any of that stuff would totally fine. Looking at this on a shorter term time frame, it's at one of those areas I don't like predicting. It's the opposite of what I usually say, thus down move compared to up. But after these wild moves, which is just great for buying and selling high, buying low, and it was magnificent for myself, just to get small little additional gains here and there. And I want many of those small gains within this trading, and I do okay doing such. But you have the trend change. You go down to this level, basically establish this level of support, which is already in here, but whatever it goes to is where it establishes such, because you have a big move from point low to point high. You haven't left the 18 lows. Now you have. So where are you going to go? I don't care if it's 24.2. I don't care if it was 23.3, which it was, or if it was 22.2 or 22.6, whatever. It just happened to be here. It stayed a while within this level. Then it lifted off on the 20th of February, 2 hours. And it comes up, makes this lower high. Doesn't hold this 18 here at 2 in the morning last night. And where does it come? I would say, leaving, it's going to go back to where it came from. Maybe between here, like around 24 to here. So therefore, when you have a move that has like a lower high like this, and you have a move where it came to, and it's basically overextended to the downside like it is, what's going to happen from here? So therefore, we'll start off with putting a line in. And on a bearish level, and are we going to do something like, say, maybe just do nothing like this and fall? That's a possibility. Maybe we're going to come up and test this declining 18, do something in here, and then fall, which can most certainly be the case as well. And maybe this is going to be successful support where, okay, having quick little internet small problems, which is just the internet Wi-Fi has got to get looked at, because just flickering off and on there is why the charts did that. Throwing that part aside, as far as what a higher, like this being support, it wouldn't surprise me if it does come up to the 18, but instead of falling down, maybe it just does something like this. The 18 goes sideways, then it breaks it, and now we're starting to talk about an up run. And thus, we'd be talking about how you have this point A low, the series of highs there, and its ultimate correction from the break of this trend line being here. And thus, when you have a spot like this, you end up coming back to this type of level. I'd be saying that in a bullish level, oh my goodness, I don't know what's going to happen here, don't like this spot. And I just talk about the very opposite, maybe we come back like this and all that type of nature. But in spots of technical analysis, when you do make a spot from this any point to a very good high, have a very good price correction down, or a sustained time correction, usually down, and then you break resistance, you're oftentimes looking at good gains on the break of such, and thus you'd break 30, you're talking about going to 45, 50 minimum usually. Thank you for tuning in, and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.